Customers at my Flip Flops donut shop are always asking me why I moved to Emerald Isle. And my response is always the same. I got tired of being like Clark Kent, and I wanted to feel a bit more like Superman, or in my case, an EI man. Stick with me to learn how I accomplished this transformation on a daily basis. My name is Dennis Richkovsky, and I am the mild-mannered Baker broker behind Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist. The key to this transformation is getting outdoors, and the secret sauce is the weather here along the Crystal Coast or southern Outer Banks. Thanks in part to a warming Gulf Stream located just off the coast and the cooling ocean breeze that flows constantly from the southwest, we experience far more sunny days and far fewer rainy days than all other parts of North Carolina. Summer temperatures rarely break 90 degrees, and winter temperatures rarely dip below freezing. Suffice to say, the weather here is a four-season magnet that draws me out of my sedentary indoor existence every day. The weather is my anti-Kryptonite. Okay then, now that I'm outdoors, how and where do I transform from Dennis Richkovsky into an EI man? Decisions. I can become an EI man as I stroll down the deck from our house and walk along the beach for an hour or so. These walks are usually quiet pursuits, interrupted only by the sounds of waves crashing on the beach, birds calling, and pleasant greetings from a fortunate fellow walker. No cars, no crowded sidewalks, no smelly trash, and definitely no ugly views to interrupt this glorious experience. The beach not calling you? Well, this EI man sometimes can be found walking the trails in the unique, untouched maritime forest located in Emerald Woods, a park between Coast Guard Road and Bogue Sound. Cycling is a lifelong passion of mine. I started out on tricycles, but soon moved on to the harder stuff. Bicycles with balloon tires, bicycles with a banana seat, road bikes with steel frames, racing bikes with carbon fiber frames, and now a recumbent bicycle. What is it about cycling that finds me on a bicycle for many hours and in some events, many days? It has everything to do with play. As a child, I played ball, played marbles, played hide and seek, played tag, etc. But what I really played at was riding my bicycle. As I grew into adulthood, life got in the way, priorities flipped, and play ended up getting kicked to the attic or tossed into the garage. We all wake up one day and find ourselves depressed, bored, and/or obese. And I get it. I am as guilty as the next person. But now, living as I do in Emerald Isle, I can always grab my bicycle, sit in the saddle, clip in, and become an EI man for an hour or so, and play like a child again. Cycling is my personal fountain of youth, if you will. And here in Emerald Isle, unlike where I used to live in the Triangle, motorists respect cyclists, and there are no hills, save one. The invisible hill called the wind. That same cooling breeze I told you about earlier in this video. This EI man can also be found jogging, not running, jogging, along the beach at low tide, where I enter a serene world experienced by few on this planet. At high tide, I may opt to jog along the more stable 13-mile Emerald Path that parallels Emerald Drive. Now, one of the really big adjustments to living where I do is realizing that I am usually no more than half a mile from a body of water, be it the ocean, a sound, a river, or a lake. A most pleasurable way for me to change into an EI man is to swim in the ocean, just beyond the breakers, a sweet spot of calm where the water is too shallow for sharks and not deep enough for boats to bother me. As an added bonus, and at my age I'll take every advantage, the salt water makes me more buoyant, so I can swim faster than Nah, I'm not going there. Another benefit is no turning. And in winter, I can put on a wetsuit and I'm good to go. Free swimming in the ocean. Too daunting, you say? Listen to old Albert Einstein here, who said, "A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new." Recently, I discovered a new way to change from mild-mannered Dennis Richkovsky into an EI man. It's called prone paddleboarding. Historically, prone paddleboarding was a way for surfers to stay in shape when the waves were not cooperating. Unlike the squat and wide bodyboard used for riding waves, the prone paddle boards are extra long, with the shortest ones being around 10 feet. These prone boards are also very narrow, with a sharp pointed tail. To be sure, it takes practice to learn how to stay on the board, but once you master it, you feel like you are swimming faster than a speeding Michael Phelps or Mark Spitz, depending on your age. I recommend you visit South Swell Surf Shop in Emerald Isle to get all the lowdowns on this fascinating way to transform into an EI man. As I grow older, I may find myself spending fewer hours in the water or on the roads. But not to worry, as I can still turn myself into an EI man by embracing the paddle sport of pickleball. Played on a small court, 4 pickleball courts fit inside a regulation tennis court. Pickleball players hit a hollow plastic ball riddled with holes using a lighter and smaller version of a tennis racket. Emerald Isle has several regulation-sized pickleboard courts behind a police station, and the Country Coast Country Club in Pine Knoll Shores also has a few. As we have an older population here, I recommend that you reserve your pickleball court several days in advance. One last observation. I haven't even touched on the number 1 and number 1A ways people can transform themselves into EI men and EI women here along the Crystal Coast: boating and fishing. Since moving here permanently in 2016 and transforming myself into an EI man, I've lost 30 pounds. My blood pressure and cholesterol are both within normal ranges for my age, and my energy level is off the chart. I sleep better, and my vitamin D level is above normal, despite all the slathering on of sunscreen. Getting outdoors and becoming an EI man makes me incredibly happy, and that shows in my relations with my family and in my donut and bagel baking at my Flip Flops Donut Shop in Emerald Isle. As the father of Western medicine, Hippocrates once said, "Nature itself is the best physician." For more information on living the dream on the Crystal Coast, please go to www.emeraldisleHomesForSaleNC.com and sign up for my blog. Explore the video tab for my weekly uploads to my YouTube channel, Emerald Isle Vacation Homes Specialist. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and receive free donuts and bagels at my Flip Flops Donut Shop. Ready to become an EI man or EI woman? Call me at 919-308-2292. Text your email address to that same number and subscribe to my newsletter. My book, Live Where You Vacation, is available on Amazon.com or on Kindle. I post weekly blogs and videos on real estate, on personal improvement, and life here along the Crystal Coast. Thanks for watching. See you next week.